So we passed the Kármán line successfully, um, and we've got a bit more science, which we will invest. Those all-important nodes. Now, let's see what contracts we have on offer. Yeah, that's hard. So we'll do this one. "65 units to 80 kilometers. Let's see how heavy 65 units is. Actually, hang on. Yeah, so we can no longer put these things inside, apparently. So, learned that lesson. So let's make this as tiny as possible. That seems wrong. Also, how heavy is this? That's 52. And these are 50. So yeah, you're paying paying for the privilege. Meanwhile, let's try smooth cone, 300, 1.2. Okay. How many liters is that? 37 liters, so not 65 liters. Hey, scroll. Hey, Moken. All right, so we're gonna how heavy is this again? 3 kilograms. So, how do we want to do this? I'm using version 0.8 of the new one. So if you look from the versions list, there's 0.43 whatever 0.8. That is the one that I'm using. That is the combined fork one. I'm not using the most recent version because that seems to have some issues, but that is the version that I'm using. And crucially, that fixes the size bug. Oh, I forgot to fix that. I need to make that available on the start node. Because that is what I need to add to this. It's not that, it's here. There's the link. Yeah, this is what I want to use. But it's in the next node. Okay. Actually, you know what? I want to see if I can... Oop, that's bad. See if we can make this small enough. Apparently not. Apparently that's as small as it gets. Squirrel, I'll find the link in the Discord. It's around somewhere. So I guess we do have to use the... Okay. So now we have a parachute. Now we have that. Aerodynamic. I mean, hard has been rebalanced because, like, for a while, playing on hard in RP-0 was like the standard difficulty, but playing on hard in RP-1 is like actually hard now. So I'm giving that a shot. There's various other tuning factors that we added. It's not just money and science. Okay. Hey, Max. Hey, Stone Smile. So, let's see if this works. This will not get me suborbital, but I want to see how it performs nonetheless. Ah, okay. Let me hop on. Hello.
Hey there.
Hey.
I'm also testing out my own reinstall of RP-1 in the background here.
Yeah, so definitely use the version of B9 P-Wings that I linked in Twitch chat.
Yep, I already got that.
Cool. Otherwise, I think it's basically normal stuff.
Yep. Yeah, getting everything through CCAN worked until I got to the visual enhancement stuff. Then I had to do it.
That's weird, because like RSSV should be on CCAN now.
So I tried installing RSSV from CCAN, and there was at least one mod that was not as up to date.
Oh, is it like Scatter's metadata is saying
The
that
wiki
0.770 is not for 110 or something?
No, I think it was might have been distant object enhancement, one of the other ones.
Oh.
But also Scatter wanted me to tell it of like 15 different Sunflare configs I should use.
Oh, that thing, yeah.
And then I was like, no, yeah. No, I'm just gonna do it the regular way. Then I have MLP and your Canaveral and the updated B9. Let's see, what else did I mess with? I think that's mostly it.
So I'm playing this round. I'm playing with Kerbal constructs and the extra launch pads. So you may want to do that. Squirrel was asking me before for the link, and it's from Aviation 365, and I can't get Discord to let me search by username. I have no idea why. I do from : and it doesn't actually let me. So if you can search for them.
Want me to search for what? From
Aviation 365.
Okay.
And I think it was in RO General. This is a zip file uploaded. All right, let's separate. Whew, that was a lot of force.
Far back should I be looking?
Oh, a while back. Like maybe almost a month ago.
This extra launch pad zip.
Yep, that is the one. And if you can link it in, or so in RO General, if you can
Just
reply to Squirrel with that.
okay.
Yeah, because you get that, and you get so the steps are you install Kerbal constructs and Omega stock-like structures and Tundra Space Center through CCAN. You replace the Kerbal constructs DLL with the one from the fork, and then you extract that extra launch pad zip, and then you will have all the pads.
I've linked that for you, Squirrel Patrol. That seems complicated at the moment. I'm just going to stick with this RSS cape.
It really has been quite trivial to install. It's just checking all those mods in CCAN, replacing the Kerbal Constructs DLL with the one I linked, and then extracting that zip file. That's all you got to do. Everything else is just seamless. It's just when you are rolling something out to the pad, before you click roll out, you click the little star and you say select launch site, and you choose which launch complex at the Cape you want to put it at. The slightly confusing thing is that I need to keep a link to Wikipedia open so I can know which launch complex is which. So that may be annoyingly complex for you. But the actual installation wasn't bad.
It might be helpful if you type out the names of all those mods into Discord so that
Sure.
they're in
they're in the README in that first zip, the extra launchpad zip.
Oh, okay. Well, that's helpful.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah. No, otherwise I would have typed them out. Okay, so this thing is very happily subsonic. It will, however, almost certainly sink, which is not great. I mean, we'll see. It'll probably sink. Stone Smile, I'm gonna PM and ask if I can just put that up on CCAN, because it's super nice. So the other thing that I want to ask for is, or anybody who has the time to go and do this, is to go through each of the launch complexes and remove all the stuff that modular launch platforms has, so that you still construct the thing in the VAB with all the swing arms and umbilicals and everything at the appropriate height, and then what you actually have at the launch complex is all the other pad infrastructure. Like that is the version that I actually want to have. Let's see if we sync. Oh, that's cool. We actually landed on real terrain. Yay for me for actually fixing that. Guess we won't know whether we'll sink until later. How heavy are we? 58 kilograms? That's probably like right on the edge of whether we would sink in the water. Okay, so that's cool.
Well, now you're just going to get sucked into a marsh here.
Yes. Analog edition, the number of spare chutes literally makes no difference, so you're fine. All right, so now the question is, what do we have to do to actually reach a suborbital trajectory rather than just the Kármán line? And I think the answer to that is we need a better engine. I think that is the actual answer to that question.
Not racing this time either, then I take it.
No. Most certainly not. I mean, also this is on hard, so I feel like in some ways racing would be good for me, but in some way, like, it leaves me open to screwing up.
Screwing up is the Kerbal way. That's when you have the most fun, potentially.
I mean, maybe. Let's see.
Definitely listed as a requirement for RP-1 Squirrel.
Do we actually require it rather than only wreck it? I thought we only wrecked it, but maybe we have it as dependency.
I installed RP-1 on. Now I can't remember. I definitely got it. So
Yeah.
It might have been recommended.
Yeah, I have a request out to Linux Guru Gamer to actually make that version 110 compatible, because it seems to be, as far as I can tell, and it fixes a bunch of bugs that we've run into. Oh yeah, I was going to recolor this. Wait, what? Oh, yeah. Huh. You can't... That is most unlike PAP to not have recoloring available. That is very unPAP-like.
Well, he'll hang his head in shame when he hears about it.
Yes. What version of RO and RP-1 are you on, Analog? Okay, I'm just gonna hop into the old trusty notepad for a sec, and where the heck is this? Oh, it's called ROT Open Interstage, that's why. Okay, that is Hacksword. Uh, yeah, use the version of B9 Penguins that I linked above. It seems to work the best. Also maximal, so you can see in the distance some rather big buildings.
Yep, I can see them. That
Yeah,
is cool.
it definitely makes it feel much more like the Cape. It's pretty great.
Yeah. If only you could complete your rejector the stock KSC.
Yeah, I mean, there's no particular reason that you can't, I don't think. It just requires changing the mesh filters on a bunch of game objects. It's like there's so much in KSP that feels like it's actually a base part of KSP, just no one has sat down to do yet. Okay, so this should now let me build it. Um, the only problem is what do you mean it's still in development? I hacked the save file. It should not be still in development. How dare you? Okay. So I'll do this a different way. Ah, that's what happened. I think I missed it. I missed a single entry for it. Yeah, let's try this again. Oh, I think I know what's going wrong. Maybe. I think it's loading the craft file and that sets it back to experimental somehow. Yes, that is exactly what is happening. And all this because I forgot to edit the tree before I started KSP. Entry cost 1,000? That's... And why did it still make me pay the entry cost? That was very odd. Let me give myself the 1,000 back. Spooky. Yeah, it's just insistently not letting me take it. All right, well. Right, okay, so that's the issue, is that I can't actually purchase the thing because it exists in a node that I haven't unlocked yet. So the experimentalness overrides everything else. All right, well, we'll just... I mean, I guess I'll get my plane first. And then go ahead and fly the rocket. I mean, I guess I could also just launch an A4 to do this meanwhile, although it pays very little. Anyway, I guess I'll just go ahead and warp to supersonic flight. I probably should be doing something more optimal than that, but I don't know. I'm feeling very dumb for putting a point in the VAB that I'm now not going to use for 74 days. I mean, I guess I could start making the plane now.
Yeah, you could build the airframe frame.
Yeah.
That's not really that much of a speedrunner technique.
Yeah, it's more of an abuse broken edit functionality in KCT technique.
I remember that, like there's planes out there where they didn't have the engines ready and they were building the fuselage. So
oh, no, I don't mean that. I mean the fact that like I'm just going to put down enough money to like estimate how much the... So like it costs 307. So I just need to build the plane and then put an additional 307 funds on it.
Yeah, that's a little bit cheaty, but I mean, you could not do that. You could just build the 200 cost plane and then add the engines later, which would still save you time.
Yeah. Right, this is what we do. Wait, if that's deprecated, why is it showing up? Okay. Oh, I also don't have the engines until the next rocketry node. So,
Why are you not going for the J40? Which engines are you going for?
the XLR-11.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I thought you were building like the supersonic plane from the supersonic engines.
I mean, like, I guess I could. But I don't really want to be in the business of grinding out a series of
Supersonic high contracts?
the Supersonics, yeah. I mean, I guess I could, but you know, I guess I could go full death stick style with Aerobees or RM-65s. Although the RM-65 has horrifying reliability on the first node, if memory serves. Yeah, 74 to 90. 90.5% reliability is not a lot of reliability. So let's build it the real way, and then I will put other parts in instead. So the rated burn time on the next one up. Let's see, so this one is pressure fed. Rated burn time 1 hour? That seems high. That's another bug. Okay, so here's the pump fed version.
Wasn't it for some cruise missile? I mean,
Sorry, what was for a cruise missile?
sorry, are you guys looking at the
Stone Smile says.
RM?
So Stone Smile, the 3600 is for like a tested burn time, not their rated burn time on any given flight, and that is the bug. It's a display bug, not an internal bug. Oh, I already had one. Yeah, the first one's burn time was 150, and the rest are 360. That is what I remembered. Oh, it's because they have rated continuous burn time stated, and RF and test flight don't show that. Yeah, so it is entirely a UI bug. Good to know. How much area ruling do I really want to do on this thing? I guess some. And then this is... And I guess I will not bother to boat tail. Well, of course I'm going to boat tail it. And mount is the XL shroud. Except not really. Okay. Oh, of course that scales the boat tail. I guess I do have to use proc fairings. Oh, right. That's why. Forgot that extra radius is causing problems. Okay. There is a boat tail. And where's the conic? Looks decent. Silver metallic. Okay. Okay, that looks not unreasonable. Wings. Oops, that's flipped. Okay. Those are some very thick wings. I don't think we want wings that are that thick. No, we don't want handles. We do not want a trailing edge. Okay, so yeah, that is about when we want the okay. Yeah, okay. You're hilariously fat now. That's pretty much perfect. This plane is way small. pretty sure this plane is too small.
That's pretty teeny tiny.
Oh, right. What kind of burn time are we getting? So that's just about the right burn time for the first engine, which means we need way more for the 6-minute burn time. Okay, this is a plane of reasonable length. And if I fill this, we're a little over long. We'll actually, the burn time will be higher when we switch to pump fed because the residuals on pressure fed are higher because of mixture ratio variation. Also, we'll get higher tank utilization when we switch to pump fed. So I think we can make this a little bit shorter. And I guess, let's see. What's the sweep is only 33 degrees. That's not a lot of sweep, all things considered. Because it's like that. I mean, for a delta, it's a decent level of sweep, but it's not great. I wonder what the sweep of the F-106 was. Let's look it up. All right, so we can effectively increase our sweep by doing that. And now we're starting to look like the F-106. And MiG-21 by contrast. Yeah, so we're swept slightly more than the MiG-21, which seems fine. And basically, I'm going to be I'm not going to make this delta. I'm going to make this a reasonably traditional layout. It's going to end up looking sort of like a MiG-21, I think. Oh, interesting. You're flipped upside down. Okay, so we're going to make this in two sections. One section for the ailerons, one section for the flaps. Thickness is 6.5. And I have no idea what the appropriate thickness for this is. So let's find out. Looks correct. Going to save it since I haven't saved it in a bit. That looks like insufficient control surface. So we'll make it a little longer. Longer yet. And why did... Oh, because I just changed thickness instead of... Ugh. Okay. And you get to be control surface. Dynamic deflection. 20 is fine. Purely roll. .10, and goodness only knows what the root will be. Oops, not quite. There we are. Okay, and control. And flaps. Okay. And let's turn auto shape off. Cylinder start. End. Okay. Okay, that is a better discontinuity. Yep, that looks better. I really wish we had landing gear that folded into the wing instead of like flat folded sideways. There must be some mod that does that. Hopefully. Do you know of one?
Not off the top of my head, no.
Yeah, me neither. Fire Spitter had them a long time ago, but they looked like Fire Spitter. Grab Shark, yeah, I restarted after doing the moon landing and the space station. That is hilariously chunky. Okay. So what we need is a tail that starts there. Okay, that looks reasonably straight to me. Super thick. Wonder why it doesn't quite match. Strange. Oh, it's being put underneath. How is it being put underneath? That's deeply confusing. Okay. I think I actually want this to be more like that. I really wish in B9P wings you could define the angle of each of the edges, because I want the trailing edge to be straight.
Yeah, I know what you
And
mean.
it would be very nice. 0.8. This needs to be 0.8. No, that's 0.6. Now it's 0.8. Huh? That's weird. Okay. That looks okay. That might not actually be enough tail. I think that's probably not enough tail. The answer is almost always you need more tail than you think you do. Like literally every time. Nope, that's too far. Okay. Well, that looks screwy. Yeah. Alright, I guess I do have to just do this the old-fashioned way.
The old-fashioned way.
I was gonna try to be sneaky and put a trailing edge on this so I didn't have to put another tail segment on it, but I have to put another tail segment on it. Or actually, I'll just do this and it will not be quite perfect, but it will be acceptable. Oh, yuck.
Make the fixed landing gear very easy to break.
I did. I did indeed do that. I mean, it depends what you mean by easy to break. Like, I made it break at, I think, somewhere around 120, 130 miles an hour.
Is that in meters per second? No.
Something like 50 to 70, I forget exactly.
53. That seems about. Yeah, it seems to be where they're breaking. Okay.
I take it you are doing a little bit of racing?
Oh no, I'm just trying to build the standard plane that I'm used to.
Oh, okay. And you build it with fixed gear?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, my standard plane is a very cheap plane, so.
Right. I mean, yeah, I guess if you're going to do X-planes low, then...
Oh, I'm still also testing Derwents to see how easy they are to make supersonic.
Oh. You're testing Derwents on a plane with fixed gear?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, my standard plane is about 200 funds with 2 Derwents.
The non-fixed gear, is that expensive? That you'd
Let's
want to
see.
use fixed gear instead?
I mean, I shave money off where I can, but yeah, it's not that big of a difference. Just switching to the non-fixed gear.
Okay, I'm not sure if that's actually going to be enough rudder control, but yeah, let's try that. That seems better. I guess that's a little much. Okay.
I mean, I broke my gear squirrel, but with 2 Derwents, it wasn't really hard to do a very shallow dive supersonic plane.
Yeah, no, you definitely should be able to get supersonic in a dive. That is working as designed. And once you get supersonic, you should be able to stay there.
Yeah. It's not like I've spent a lot of time area ruling this thing either.
Hmm.
Or where Derwent seems excessive
4. 4 is
dragging it.
4 is an awful lot of Derwents.
Yeah. Yeah, what are you getting out of 4 Derwents? Like, I mean, it used to be that you could do more Derwents and be able to do some of the supersonic X-plane contracts before, but that seems out of reach now.
So midcourt sweep is 41 degrees. What is it on these? 31 degrees. Gotta work harder. .48 degrees. Okay, that seems fine.
Actually, you can use the hotkeys to adjust B9 wings.
That's what I've been using.
No, that's why I'm telling Senshi.
Oh, sorry. Sorry, I misheard the first part of that. Yes, that is what I'm doing.
That's fine.
Okay. I think I actually want to put them over here, maybe.
Yeah, it is. Learning the hotkeys helps a lot.
Yeah, it's like using the ancient original procedural wings that I think no one ever uses anymore. Okay, so apparently I need more of these. Hmm.
Dragon A, the Derwents have been adjusted a lot. You won't be able to do Mach 2 Derwents anymore.
Yeah, I would be impressed if you got above 400 meters per second.
In fact, I don't remember with even old Derwents being able to do Mach 2, like 1.6 maybe.
Yeah.
Yes, but
Okay. So this thing is not statically stable, but otherwise it's fine. um, hmm. Mostly it just needs more tail. All right, and midcourt sweep is still, that's fine. All right. Let us, oh, I first should put some landing gear on this, shouldn't I? Yes, I should. Yeah, I really strongly wish we had gear that folded differently. Because look at how that's super annoying.
yep, I know. I've always struggled with that and come up with some weird solution where I stick like a B9 kind of pylon-ish thing over it to even out the hump, but
Yeah, it's just it looks so silly. Okay. So I think that's everything we need to worry about, other than action grouping my flaps. And setting these up. We'll mix in a bit of roll. All right. Going to move these down just a little bit so we get more ground clearance. Okay, and we'll just have the barest hint of that. Okay. Looks like a decent wheelbase. Let us increase the brake strength. Oh, brakes are already at max. I will lower the brakes on these. Max safe speed 75 meters per second. That's interesting. Oh, because I scaled it down.
It feels that like that shouldn't necessarily scale,
Agreed.
at least not linearly.
Agreed. Okay. So this looks very 1950s. Looks kind of British, actually. I usually end up making making planes that look British.
Oh, and that's why I was messing with my gear. It's not because they're cheaper. It's because the small gear are 100 kilos, whereas the fixed gear are 10 and 15.
Wait, what?
The small landing gear, the deployable ones are 100 kilos, and the fixed ones are 10 and 15 kilos.
Oh. Interesting. That seems like a mismassing.
Yes. I mean, there's a lot more going on with the pneumatic gear, so it's not
Yeah,
completely unreasonable.
but like not quite. That seems really light for the fixed gear. Like 20 pounds? 30 pounds? Come on.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's look at FAR. So as expected, we are only barely statically stable. What does it look like at Mach 0.9? Fine. Supersonic. All right, that's better. Let's look at 20 kilometers and Mach 2. We need 6 degrees alpha at Mach 2 at 20 kilometers. All right. Everything's green because I put enough tail on. At Mach 3, we need less AOA. We don't have that much wing area for our mass, in fairness. Like, we have a bunch of wing area compared to, I think, what usual KSP players would do, but gliding at 5 kilometers in Mach 0.8. That all looks pretty good. All right, so I designed a reasonably successful plane. The wave drag area is 0.3, which is not bad. Okay, so the landing gear are screwing me over, basically. So I can do that, and that helps a little bit, but it will make it a little harder to rotate. Yay, anti-shock bodies. Yeah, so I want a bulge right here, but I don't think I actually care enough to do it. Critical Mach number 0.58. That seems weird, but okay. Let's see how it flies. My goodness, this does look like peak 1950s. That tail is still a little small, actually, now that I look at it. Like, Far's not complaining, but it feels a little small. Okay, let's dial in some flaps. Here we go. There we go. Let's clean up with the flaps. I guess I probably need to put RCS on it. Maybe not to start with, but eventually. I'll need RCS on this thing. Oh, I wonder if I'm within air launch limits. Didn't even think about that. Oops. Failure. I mean, we are quite a bit over the rated continuous burn time. see just what level of residuals we're left with. Okay. A not insignificant amount.
I'm Googling, trying to figure out how much the landing gear probably should weigh. I found an aircraft tire data sheet that shows, like, light aircraft tire masses, but nothing for the rest of the landing gear. Still there?
Yep, I'm here.
Okay. Sorry, I just didn't reply.
Yeah.
I do find it funny that they call the fairings that wrap around the wheels the pants.
Also spats.
That actually makes more sense than pants.
Alright, I assume we can make it all the way back to the SLF. Although I think there's now a runway over here. Somewhere. Yeah, there's a runway right here.
Oh, found it. This one says that Cessna 170 and 180 gear, the leg ones, not the nose wheel, weigh 32 to 33 pounds, which is exactly what we have for ours.
That's amazing.
Trying to find the nose gear. Oh, and you can get titanium ones that are 2/3 of that mass. It seems like the nose gear should weigh more, not less.
No, it's usually lighter than the mains. Most of the mass is on the main, like particularly so when you're rotating, like it's all on the mains.
guess that's true, but I mean the front gear steers. Now the steering linkages are really small, but yeah, I guess that makes sense. I don't know. Maybe those masses are okay.
Yeah, I guess maybe they are. Although I think probably what it actually is the other masses are wrong then.
The ones with the hydraulics? I don't know.
I mean, like if you look up how much landing gear on, say, an F-86 weighs, it's not going to be that much. Although, in fairness, like these things are rated for suborbital descents. But I guess I do need spoilers on this thing. I was hoping to get away with not having spoilers. Just flaps.
I also found a tire data sheet for a bunch of aviation wheels. You know, they're rated for much higher speeds. But I'm not suggesting you go and undo your changes. I'm just saying they're
Like aviation wheels for fixed gear?
yeah, for fixed gear. I mean the Cessna ones are on page 14. The
Oh, and
60.6
what are they rated for then?
Let me go back to them. Depending on which one you buy, anywhere from, well, bottom one is at 120 and the top ones are at 160.
Okay, so that's more like 70 to 80 meters per second, not 50?
Yeah.
Okay, so I mean that's fine. I'm mostly concerned about using those gear and taking off at 200 meters per second.
Yes, that's true.
Wow, so this plane worked the first time. That's pretty cool. Uh, that went better than I thought it might. So, cool.
I really wouldn't be surprised if the F-86's landing gears were much heavier. I mean, between the hydraulics and the door flaps and the fact that it's for a jet that weighs, I don't know, close to 8 times as much as a Cessna 172.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's just the stress model in these things is not great. So you don't really have
No, it's not.
the ability to say this mass at this stress level. I mean, I think you're supposed to, but it doesn't quite work. Okay, so this is all fine. We need spoilers. Shoot, what was the other thing that I thought of that I needed to do for this? I did just have something. Oh, I need to check the dimensions. Okay, so we're just under the dimensional limits. And 7.5 tons in mass, which is fine if we underfuel it some, because we shouldn't be running this heavy anyway. So great, this is a pretty good aircraft. So Squirrel, I don't feel like drag chutes are really necessary, given that this thing can land at under 100 meters per second fairly easily. I mean, I guess drag chutes are insurance, but I mean, I'm landing on the SLF, which is a heck of a longer runway than the Space Center's runway. Oh, right, yes. So we need... So I want to take advantage of this to slightly increase the... cross-sectional area there. Okay. So that's going to help slightly. Oh, that barely made a difference. But I'll go with that. Okay. It is a drag chute. Drag chute, input craft mass, 5 tons. Okay. That's good. Hopefully we will never actually have to use the parachute. Let's turn off transonic design. Add some spoilers. Okay. And spoiler. $27. Seems fine. Okay. And if it's taught me anything, it's taught me that I need to increase the multiplier on them. Also, this will increase the drag area, but we need to move the gear forward. Because it was real hard to rotate. I mean, I guess if we're only air launching this thing, it kind of doesn't matter. Okay, so this is using a bunch of experimental parts. Oh, thank you, Squirrel. Yes, I should set crew science. Supersonic flight. Okay. We are good to go. Yeah, I'm really happy with how this plane turned out. Now I guess I get to build the jet version of it. Given that we don't have access to either the engine or anything else. I'll get the tooling. Wait, what? Oh, shoot, because it's a different size. Oh, that's annoying. Grumble. Okay, everything's tooled. Now, okay. We most certainly do not want to save that. And let's get everybody training for the cockpit. And right, so we actually need both of these nodes because, yeah, okay. We'll at least have the cockpit, and I guess I can put a jet engine on it for a bit because it'll fly reasonably with a jet, I would think. And then later we can convert it to using the rocket engine.
Seem reasonable. So it's still reasonably doable to do supersonic with just a single Derwent.
Right, breaking the sound barrier, I just have to reach Mach 1. So that's doable regardless. 30 seconds. Interestingly, it says 30 seconds here, does not say 30 seconds here.
Yep, that's weird. Are you guys talking about putting a climb rate limit on this one? Because that would cut off some of the cheatiness.
I think it's okay to allow you to break it in a dive. It's just the repeatables that you need a climb rate restriction.
Enough. But the repeatables require 3 minutes of flight, which
which you won't be able to do anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah,
they have a pretty tight altitude band.
Yeah, no, I think it's totally fine for this to be through a dive. Uh, like, given that it seems likely that Jeffrey de Havilland died after breaking the sound barrier in a dive, um, like that seems fine.
We don't count that one. We didn't deliberately research that one.
Okay, and then how much does the J-47? $5 million to unlock that engine. Versus $1 for a trusty Derwent.
Want to check your stability again with the Derwent.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. No, I assume it's going to make a huge difference. It's going to pull the center of mass back quite a bit.
Yeah.
Also, I don't even know if this will let me break it in a dive anyway.
Should do. I don't see anything wrong with that.
I mean, my wave drag is higher than something that's actually well area ruled, like CMAV Super Junkers.
Well, CMAV Super Junkers, I don't know how many hours he spent on getting the wave drag low on that thing.
Fair. Intake. There's got to be an intake around here somewhere. Okay, and what is your needed area? 0.112. Well, that's god awful ugly. So's that. The one thing that I wish I had tweak scale for is scaling intakes.
Yep. The XM-C200, you can kind of jut into your craft better than that when you've chosen it.
Yeah, I guess you're right. Yeah, that that works. All right. Wish I could fit 2 Derwents on, but I really can't.
I have faith this thing will break the sound barrier.
Hmm?
I said I have faith this thing will break the sound barrier.
All right.
Although you're probably carrying a giant load of rocket fuel.
No, I'm not. I already fixed that.
Oh, why is your TWR so low then?
4.3 tons. I mean, jets don't have high thrust weight ratios. That's a modern thing. Like, this thing's, the static thrust of this is 16 kilonewtons.
No, I mean, I've got a single Derwent. I guess there's a bunch of differences. This one's a 0.7 TWR.
How much does yours weigh?
2.2 tons.
That's why, because this is a plane of reasonable size. And even so, it's still way lighter than.
Yeah, these tail connector pieces might be underweighted.
Yes, almost certainly. Yeah, the X1 dry was over 3 tons.
Okay, makes sense.
And wet was 7.5 tons. Well, the first one was 5.5, and then the laters were 7.5. All right, save the edits. I mean, I guess I'll sim it, but I presume it will be fine. I don't think I'm doing anything dumb.
You adjust your...
Oh, I forgot to check the center of mass.
Yeah.
Oh well. This is why we have fly-by-wire. At least it's head of the landing gear. Yeah, that's a way higher thrust-to-weight ratio than a jet would usually give me. Yeah, that was expected. Let me actually check the center of mass.
Weird. It should have been easier to roll over with the center of mass gone backward.
All right, so dry, it's problematic. So.
Oh yeah, but you were air launching before, so that's why you're... Yeah, okay.
All right, now we're fine. Put a little lead ballast in the nose, it solves anything. And I'll move the gear forward, which will screw up my area ruling slightly, but probably not enough to matter. I mean, I guess I technically could air launch this, but
Yeah.
all right.
Also, I don't know where you're going, but you could probably not have 2 hours of fuel on there.
Yes. Although that's 2 hours of fuel at static thrust. Like that is not 2 hours of fuel.
At altitude.
Well, it's more than 2 hours of fuel at altitude going slow. At high speed, it is not.
Okay.
All right, let's see if we can do that. Here's flaps. Away we go. VROT at what, like 80 meters per second? Yeah, this thing is not that slow to take off. It's pretty nice. It's not. Sorry, it does not take off that fast. Because it's only a bit over half the mass of the rocket version. Heading 90, vertical speed. We'll go at 20. Seems fine. Trimmed out. We'll get as high as we can, and then dive. Yeah, note that this is lowering at more than 1 second per second. And that's because the ram air is enough that we're actually having higher mass flow. Zuki impulse is lowering. The thrust is not super high, but yeah, it's due to all the ram air. Hovering at Mach 0.78.
Yes, you could be climbing faster.
Yeah, I was thinking the exact same thing. Okay, looks like I have to go back to 25. Okay, that appears to be as good as it gets.
The angle of tank is way too high now.
Yep. Yeah, we've got to speed up, and then we can climb again a little. Okay, let's speed up as much as we can. Yeah, peroxide is your best bet. In reality, it would probably decay on a mission like that, which is why they'd use cold gas nitrogen. But RO doesn't model that, so. Okay, and now we're hitting the centrifugal flow wall of about Mach 0.85. So we'll climb for a bit. Yeah, I guess I should have underfueled this, because now we're draining real slow.
Yep.
Alright, let us start our run. Real close. Come on, you can do it. Supersonic. but not quite by enough. Yeah, this is not going to do it. Unless I'm just flying this wrong somehow.
Well, if you drained out some fuel, you'd be able to get a couple more kilometers out of its top altitude, and then
Yeah, you're not wrong.
then a harsher dive right at the start.
Yeah.
35 degrees down or something like that.
Yeah, I think we probably need better area rolling. Stone spile, it's not radioactive decay. It's
Chemical decomposition.
yeah, decomposition is the word, is the right word. I'm not actually sure what mathematical laws govern that, but probably not a half-life. You probably don't need more than about 150 meters per second. Like, you probably can get by with about a, depending on the accuracy of your injection, maybe 30 meters per second for a course correct, but it might be up to 50 or 100 meters per second. And then you probably want another 20 meters per second or so to give you reorientation capability. Somehow, yeah, I know. I'm just saying, like, my hunch is the decomposition doesn't follow the exponential decay model. Or logarithmic, you know what I mean. Okay, we're getting higher. Yeah, being light definitely helps. Interesting, we are once again hitting a wall at Mach 0.85 because that's when the curve starts whacking you. Oh yeah, this is going to work way better. 15 kilometers instead of 11.
Yeah. Yeah, 4 kilometers is a lot of energy to be able to dump in.
Yep. All right. So we're going to switch over and go for the dive. Ah, now we're through the thick of it. Okay. And we barely broke 10 kilometers too. Nope. I guess we got too far down. So yeah, so basically we have to do the entirety of the 30 seconds in a dive. This thing has too much wave drag to actually stay supersonic in level flight. That was my concern. A super Junkers it is not, but it will.
Yeah, but
it will complete the contract at least.
Yeah, 10-degree dive. Once you've gotten to the right speed, you should be fine. Have
Yep.
plenty of altitude still.
Yep.
Should head to bed. Thanks for having me again.
You bet. Yeah, I probably should not be far behind you, which is saying something about your sleep schedule.
Well, I also work on California time, so.
Yeah.
All right. Later, man.
Later. Yeah, you do not need 300 meters per second. Like I would get rid of half of that and spend it on either more power or more experiments, or both. Basically, there's a giant valley between enough to perform a course correction and orient you during the flight, and enough to capture at the destination. And really, there's not much you can do with that delta V other than those things. The only other thing you maybe could do is try to use a gravity assist at your encounter to set up another encounter later, but the problem is your solar panels will wear out enough. Like early in the career, your solar panels will wear out during the transit, so there's no real point in doing that anyway. Okay. So we'll be able to fly that. And we might as well take one of these on as well. Except that we're already at our limit. Oh well. All right, but I think at that point I gotta call it a night. Maximal is leading the way. So thanks everybody for watching, and I'll catch y'all next time. Night.